Right, good evening, everyone. I'm your host and lead commentator this evening. My name is Sean Madden, and welcome to Season 10 of the FRL Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Series. I'm delighted to have in the commentary box today my co-commentator, Rob G. Barker. Good evening, Rob.
Evening, Sean, and welcome to you all. Absolute pleasure to be here. We've got a couple of people in chat already as well. Welcome in the King D.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. So just to let you know then, guys, as you can see, we have the calendar there, and for the next 8 weeks, we'll be bringing to you live coverage of the Super Sprint Series at 8 different locations. Starting off in Italy, tonight we're at Monza, followed by Imola, just down the road. With round 3, we're in sunny UK in Kent. It is Brands Hatch. In round 4, we're over to America at the Circuit of the Americas circuit. Back to the UK for week 5 at Donington Park. That is followed by round 6 at Valencia. And then up to Belgium for the Circuit of Zolder. Very tricky circuit indeed. And then finishing off at the grand finale at Paul Ricard Circuit in France. So, fantastic lineup of races we've got in store for you in this season's FRL Pure Sim Gear Sprint Series. But of course, to start off with, we're at Monza. So, Rob, you're very good with all the historics and all the details of certain circuits. So, can you run me through the details of Monza, please?
Yeah, appreciate the compliments, Sean. Yeah, so tonight we are in the last couple of minutes of practice. Official practice started at 7 p.m. UK time. The drivers are just kind of doing their final laps in preparation for qualifying, which will start at 8 p.m. UK time. It's a 15-minute qualifying session with the first race starting at 20 past 8. It's a 20-minute sprint race. Shortly after that, at 8:45 p.m. UK time, a 40-minute race will start. And it's race 2 of the evening. There's no mandatory pit stops for these races. Refueling is allowed, but it's not mandatory. And there is no required tyre change for these races. These races are sprints. It will be pedal to the metal for both the races. So 40 points are up for grabs for the win, with an extra 2 points for the fastest lap. Points are awarded all the way down to P30. I believe that's right, Sean. All the way down to P30.
Yes, but I do believe we have 20. Well, we've got 23 drivers on the circuit at the moment. So if it remains with 23 drivers, that'll be 8 points, the least that the drivers will get tonight.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, so we are at Monza this evening, situated in the high plains of Lombardy, Italy, the 3.59 mile long circuit, with its aging backdrop in view of the historic Curva Sud Velocita. It's a tricky one to say as you enter the final corner, the world-renowned Curva Parabolica. This circuit really is the cathedral of speed. On the start-finish straight, the drivers will be hard onto the brakes into Turn 1 Rettifilio, and anything can happen into Turn 1. It can be the beginning of your race or the absolute end of the race. Full throttle for pretty much 80% of the lap. 6 main corner complexes here with plenty of straights in between them. If you want speed, Sean, this is it. So the drivers are making their way now through their last couple of laps. Just a couple of minutes until quali starts.
Yes, indeed, yes. About 2 minutes until quali starts. I've got to say, Rob, I'm really looking forward to this race. This Monza circuit, it's got pretty much everything, hasn't it, Rob? Fast sweeping bends, you've got really long straights, big braking zones, as well as 3 chicanes as well, isn't it? So it's got literally everything for a very enjoyable and maybe dramatic race ahead of us.
Yeah, Monza's always one for the history books. But just looking down the calendar for the next 8 weeks of racing, there's not a bad circuit on the calendar. Obviously, this is the inaugural race of the season, and I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to it starting just 1 minute 30 now
Yep.
down
Yep.
until the qualification starts.
Yep. Yep. Yes, 1 minute 30 until the race starts. We can give you a brief view of the drivers. Now, we will have to apologise that we are quite new to this FRL Super Sprint series. So forgive us for not really knowing many of the drivers here. But we did do a little bit of research ahead of tonight here. So we do know that the reigning champion for the pros is Mauro Arsenio. I think he was driving the Audi. Now I'm just looking on the lineup. Is he here tonight?
Not quite sure he's with us tonight. But a couple of names worth pointing out. We do have Ahmed Alduri in the AMG. Finished P2 in season 9. And we also have Dan Naisbitt in the Huracan. Dan Naisbitt won the amateur series in season 9, but looks like he has been promoted up into the Pro League. There are 2 categories of racing going ahead tonight. Obviously, we are with the pros.
Yes. We are with the pros tonight. I thought there was. Oh no, we have got a 24th driver. There we go. Okay, so there is 24 drivers competing in the pros tonight. I've got to say that these drivers, obviously, one of the finest drivers you'll find in ACC. Expecting big things in qualifying and in the race, of course. As mentioned before, 20-minute race for the first race, and then a feature race of 40 minutes. So it is pedal to the metal, and literally, the guys are going to have to be on their toes and driving on the limit. And a little mistake could prove to be fatal in these types of races, Rob.
Yeah, it was such a short race. 20 minutes is not a particularly long race. Any mistake is going to be costly. Catching back up with the pack in particular, I imagine is going to be quite difficult in these GT3s. So that all important start down into turn 1 right at Filio is going to be a make or break at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Yes, as mentioned, big, heavy braking zones, and I mean, they don't call it Monza Mayhem for nothing, do they, Rob?
Not at all.
Rob, we seem to have had a connection failure. Did you have that on your screen?
Yes, there is.
Right.
Check the status of the server.
Do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a few technical issues here. Just bear with me. See if we can get back into the multiplayer lobby.
Yeah, it does look like there was a mass outage there. There are only 4 remaining in the server, so we'll just hop back in.
Yep. Okay. A little bit unprecedented there.
Indeed. So just having a quick look at the chat. Welcoming Katie the Kai, welcoming Chucky the King D, obviously the legendary Double O Raven, king of the commentary around these parts. Mr. Harrison, welcome in as well. Eradicated Zombie, thank you for joining us this evening. Felipe, good to see you also. Nicky Showtime TV also in the chat. Awesome stuff, and thank you guys for coming along. Are you back in, Florida? I'm back in. Sean, you there?
Yes, sorry. I was speaking with the mic muted there. Pro streamer.
Alright, we are back in, and qualification has started, so thankfully we haven't missed too much of the action.
Of course, I'll just cycle onto the appropriate driver here. We are on board with Naisbitt at the moment in the Lamborghini. Correct view on there. The driver behind is 420. which is small and riding very close to the car in front. I mean, I know that I couldn't do that. I would be fearing the absolute worst. I don't want to be responsible for pushing people off the circuit, but I mean, they're racing so close together in qualifying here.
Yeah, a 15-minute session. There's plenty of time to get a lap down. I suppose it's difficult to find some space on this sort of track because of how fast the circuit is. It's pretty much flat out the entirety of the way. But it looks like Dan is making his way around Parabolica to start his first qualifying lap.
Indeed, yes, indeed. Oh, Adam, you're saying Rob is a little bit quiet. I'll turn him up a little bit. Do apologise. This is as Mr. Naisbitt comes into the pit, so maybe didn't get the best run out of the final exit there. So we'll try and get you on board with someone that is about to do a flying lap, perhaps.
Yeah, the BMW making his way into turn 1 looks furthest up the track, so it might be worth jumping on with number 420.
Yep. Small hand 22.
Indeed.
Yes. Okay, so just going through through Curva Grande. Yep. Coming up to the second chicane there. Ride on board. Actual cockpit camera there. Takes that lovely indeed. Going into Lesmo 2 now. Fantastic lines there. Goes a little bit wide, but nevertheless carries a lot of speed through Lesmo 2. Going down the hill, up the hill, into Ascari.
Lovely complex Ascari. One of my favourites of the S's.
Oh, yeah, absolutely fantastic, and can't wait to see it in the race. Just wonder, Rob, if they'll be going two side by side into there. I mean, that's got to be scary, hasn't it, Rob?
Yeah, you've got to have you'd be rather brave to go side by side through Ascari.
Of course, of course. Just going around Parabolica now. Just about to set the first quali lap here at Monza. And Small Hand gets a 1 minute 48.5. That is beaten by De Silva, 48.355. So early pole position there for the McLaren driver.
Gap there, just tiny bit less than 0.2 of a second between Small Hand and De Silva in the McLaren, and a few more times coming in.
Yes,
well,
we have. We have Cleese going up into P3 at 1.2 seconds behind De Silva. That will be a 1 minute 49.5. I suspect with all the drivers at the moment just kind of getting in their warm-up laps. We have got roughly about 9.5 minutes left of qualifying, so plenty of time to go.
Frank S 19 the 321 car just pops it on P1 there, 0.3 improvement over the other McLaren. Provisional pole for Frank S 90.
Yes, good spot there, Rob. Good spot there. Setting the early pace at the moment. We've got a front row lockout actually of the McLarens, so it's nice to see.
It's good to see a race with quite a wide selection of cars. I know the GT3 series. There's not many entries, but it's good to see not everybody all diving into the same car.
Indeed. I know that my level of driving is nothing on these pro drivers, of course. But I did notice that the BMW M4, very, very quick car, very responsive, very good on the brakes. So I'll be interested to see how the BMWs do today. Of course, Small Hand in P3 at the moment.
Yeah, just looking at a couple of people improving their time. Small Hand did improve the time.
Just going wide there. I don't know who that was. Maybe pulling out of the way of the current driver we have on board.
And Tom takes the provisional pole there, going almost half a second quicker than Frank S90 in the Ferrari number 2 car. So that's provisional pole for Tom.
Fantastic lap there from Tom, pulling out all the stops. 147.595. Yeah, unbelievable pace. I suspect that as the track warms up, the drivers laying down the rubber on the tarmac, that this track's going to start getting quicker and quicker, and we're going to start seeing some very, very impressive lap times.
Yeah, these guys have been out on track for the best part of an hour already. So there's no more time to familiarise yourself with the lap and the circuit. This is the time to get those crucial laps in to set, obviously, as well, the qualification sets the grid for both this evening's races.
Well, I was just looking on board with Danny McCutcheon, actually, because he was one of the drivers that got... Oh, my God, goes over the sausage there and unstabilises the car. That's ruined his lap time there. So he goes back into the pits. I was just about to mention about Danny McCutcheon getting promoted up into the Pro Leagues, the reigning champion from the Amateur League, of course. So it was interesting to see how he was going to get on in the... Pro Series. Maybe commentator's curse there, Rob.
Yeah, good old commentator's curse in action. First time on board, immediately hits the sausage curve. Well done, Sean, on that one.
I'm sorry, Danny.
But yeah, indeed, Dan did take the season 9 AM category victory. Some movement at the top there, Sean. I've noticed Buzov has now moved himself up into P4. Frank also improves on his lap time, and so does De Silva.
Indeed, yep. So we have got 3 drivers in the 47s right now, so starting to stack up. Robbo just going into P4, I believe. 5 tenths down on Tom.
Yeah, Tom was just on a flying lap. He's been, looks like he's been potentially held up with another driver there, so he aborts his lap and returns to the pits. I've jumped on board with Frank as he is making his way towards Lesmos. Car gets out of his way, nicely done.
Yeah, there's a bit of a train of cars at the moment, probably trying to take advantage of some slipstream. Of course, some very long straights at Monza, so very important to build up the speed. But of course, with the downside of following a little bit too close to the drivers in front, can lose that aero as well. So a little bit of a give and take, of course.
Yeah, really advantageous in the straights, but obviously it can start to unsettle the car in the dirty air. Obviously a big loss of downforces, huge rear wings on these GT3s, but once you get into that turbulent air, I wouldn't fancy being the one having to brake in front of somebody else.
No, of course. I mean, these are some of the very best drivers in the world, so very capable drivers, of course. But yeah, definitely not me and you, Rob. I don't have the skill set to do that.
Certainly not me.
So
4 minutes left.
Yes, 4 minutes left. Aldori, interestingly, not put a time in. Just currently just in the pits. Maybe having a toilet break or something. But hopefully we'll get to see him out on track as we see Vortel go into P2, 1.5 tenths down on Tom in P1. It's also Frank S, who is 3/1000th of a second slower than Vortel in P3, of course. So these times are starting to rack up now, starting to bunch up, and it's going to be a dramatic last 3.5 minutes of this qualifying session.
Yeah, unusual to see Ahmed Aldouri still in the pits. P2 in Season 9 in the Pro League. So we know this guy is quick. Yeah, unusual to see him not setting a qualifying lap. So we still have Tom Provisional pole with just over 3 minutes left on the clock. He starts his flying lap, working his way down to turn 1.
I mean, maybe he's doing the last to first challenge, maybe, Rob.
That would be some feat on tonight's lobby with these drivers.
But yeah, just riding on, just riding on board with Tom right now. Currently, the pole sitter just coming up to the second of the chicanes. Beautiful line, just skims the sausage curbs, but not going over it. More importantly, going through Lesmo 1. Oh, it goes really wide though. That is going to compromise his lap there. Just about to get on board with Tom, but he's just completely ruined his lap. Should have enough time to get one more lap time in before the end of qualifying though.
Yeah, there will be a cool down timer after the 2 minutes has expired, I believe. So all he needs to do is get to that checkered, get to the start finish line in the 2 minutes. Should have plenty of time.
Definitely. Okay, so we're just riding on board with Frank at the moment then, who's currently 0.1 second off the lead from Tom, or the Tom that's sitting on pole at the moment. Looking to use that slipstream of the car in front. I can't see what car that is, but that is, I believe, is the BMW.
Yeah, quite a few cars back in the pits, maybe happy with their lap, can't feel like they're going to get any quicker, and I've called it a day. So we've got a few drivers in the pit.
Well, he's just in the toe of the car in front. This could be helping him, although maybe, oh, he got a bit close to that car in front on a Parabolica there. But he has had the toe for the majority of the race. Can he go quicker than his current time? No, remains in P3. So 40 seconds left of quali, and he pulls to the side. That his qualifying done for this session.
Yeah, I've got to be happy with P3 though. Fantastic, phenomenal lap time there. Just over 1.5 tenths behind, and Tom also aborts his last flying lap, where Zortel goes quicker, still remains in P2, but look at the gap now between P1 and P2.
Barely a tenth, Rob. I mean, that is so close. Got to say that there's going to be, it's looking like there's going to be a fantastic duel between Tom and Vortel. But you know, Frank only, not even 2 tenths behind in P3 there. Oh God, this is going to be such an exciting race, Rob.
Yeah, these guys now just rounding up the last of their lap. Looks like Robo in the number 39 completes. Will he get another lap? Nope, that is it, as car number 77 comes over the line, doesn't improve. Moggs next over the line. Well, also no improvement on that one.
Well, I'm just on board with Busov at the moment, currently in P7. This is going to be his last opportunity to get a lap time in. How is he going to fare here? Doesn't improve, stays in P7. 7 tenths down on Tom.
Friedman improves on his lap time, and we've just got the number 25 and the number 55 on the track. And Alduri doesn't set a time.
Well, just on board with MGK there. Moves up 5 positions from P17 to P12 to be 1.5 seconds off of Tom's time with a 1:49.0. So a fantastic effort there from MGK.
And this will be De Silva's final lap, currently in P4. Does he improve? He doesn't. He stays in P4.
I was just trying to flick back up to to him there, but session just ended, so yeah, remains in P4. But we will bring you the classified qualifying results very shortly.
Yeah, incredibly close at the top of the grid there.
But welcome in, chat, by the way, and I do apologise not looking at the chat until their eyes fully glued to my monitor. But we welcome in R. Harrison, Felipe, George, Adam, of course, Double O Raven, absolute legend. And yeah, for those that are experienced, being involved in FRL championships in the past or currently in other series, because we are not familiar with all the names on here, be lovely to know if there is a driver that we should be looking out for, maybe a driver that didn't quite perform in qualifying but is well capable of rising up the table. Please do let us know in chat. And also
looks like sorry there, Sean. Looks
Sorry.
like we've got a fan of Nukanen there in the chat as well, supporting his driver, currently sat in P11 with the 909 Audi. So good to see some fans.
Yes, fantastic indeed, and maybe I don't know if we've got a moderator in chat, but maybe we could even do a driver of the day come the end of the two races.
Buzzok is really quick in a race. It's good to hear. Where did Buzzok finished in the Porsche number 95 car, currently sat in P7. And Buzzok is an alien. And we'll keep an eye out for those guys. I believe we are...
My screen is sort of stuck at the moment. I'm guessing this is the usual, is it? Or
I guess we are just waiting for the host to start up that lobby. Friedman is out of position in P15, expect him to get a top 10. So gents, ladies and gents, there is the calendar for the 8-week series for the Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint, and the race is about to start.
yes, indeed, Rob. Oh, let me
If you switch that scene back,
there we go.
a couple of minutes.
Yes, so yeah, 2 minutes 45 until the race starts. There will be a formation lap, I believe, Rob.
Unknown on that one. Unknown on that one.
Well, the drivers are just sitting in their positions right now.
Full formation lap confirmed from Raven. Yeah, so we will get a full formation lap.
Thank you, Raven. Okay, so
just going back to the calendar while we wait for this timer to tick down. So the 8-week series of the Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Season 10, obviously we are currently at Monza. Next week we will take you just down the road to Imola. We've got Brands Hatch, we've got Circuit of the Americas, Donington Park, Valencia, Zolder, and the finale in Paul Ricard in France.
Indeed, Rob. And I have to say, with the calendar, a lot of variants on the calendar indeed. Obviously Monza, a lot of fast straights and sharp braking zones, but I've noticed throughout the calendar there's a lot of technical circuits, and I do feel that there may be circuits that favour certain drivers. Perhaps their car may perform better with fast sweeping bends as opposed to sharp hairpins, for example. It's going to be very, very fascinating, Rob.
Yeah, some of my favourite circuits, obviously Valencia, very underrated circuit for me. Doesn't get a lot of car action in many of the games and sim games, but it's an absolutely phenomenal bike circuit.
Just reading chat as well. Worth noting, Tom is very, very quick. Won previously in the FRL Driver Swap Endurance 3 Hours series, but does have a record of unstable internet. Well, we pray that this won't be the case tonight.
Any other early picks from chat? Any other drivers we should be looking out for as we wait with that 30-second warning for the lights out?
Indeed. The anticipation must be killing the drivers at the moment. I know that.
I bet.
I'd be getting itchy fingers. You know, I'll be sweaty palms and everything. Just waiting for the race to get underway. Very important to get a good start, of course, at Monza. You know, fast, straight, and then leading into the first chicane. You know, heavy on the brakes, and of course, the tyres and the brakes are going to be cold, aren't they? On the sort of first couple of laps, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, it just takes some take a couple of laps to get these tyres into the window. Obviously, there is a full formation lap where you will see the drivers, you know, weaving and bobbing down the straight, trying to get some temperature into the tyre, trying to get some temperature into the brake. There is a very small window of operating temperature in the AC.
Yes, indeed. There is also like strict rules as well in terms of like how much weaving they can do. No heavy braking. Of course, you know, safety standards. We don't want any accidents on the formation lap. So obviously, yeah, drivers being a little bit cautious, but we can see with Frank there doing a little bit weaving.
Yeah, no overly aggressive manoeuvres on the formation lap. We have drivers taking each other out before the race has even started.
I find this absolutely amazing, Rob, though. We've got 25 drivers on the circuit. Something that we're not used to. Coming from Gran Turismo, maximum grid sizes of 16. It's absolutely fantastic to see.
It's worth noting that this isn't the only race that is happening this evening in the FRL Super Sprint. There is also a amateur race going on as well, which has got quite a healthy lineup of very talented drivers.
Oh yes, for sure. You know, it's unfortunate that we can't watch two races at the same time, but we have obviously got our hands very full for this Pro Series, and yeah, we are sort of halfway through the formation lap. Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, the anticipation is killing. Yeah, so Tom still leading the pack there in the number 2 Ferrari as he makes his way up to the Ascari complex. Just one more straight and one more corner to go after the complex, and we will be underway.
Oh, for sure, Rob. Yeah, just getting the final sort of weaving of, you know, trying to warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes a little bit. Oh, I can't wait, indeed. Can't wait.
Yeah, pole time for the event was a 1:47.5. I think that's accurate.
Yeah, 1 minute 47.595 was the pole position time from Tom.
Indeed. And then as we work our way back, just 0.9 of a second to P2, less than 0.2 of a second to P3. Very, very close. You know, from P1 all the way down to P8, less than a second.
Yeah, extremely close as the cars bunch up on the final corner, the Parabolica. We await to get Season 10 of the FRL Pure SimGear Super Sprint Series underway. Tom leading the cars through. And as soon as they come across the start-finish line, will be all hands to the pump to the start of a fantastic Monza GP. They're just lining up now. Just approaching the start-finish line. Lights are green, and it's go, go, go! And we've got Tom, we've got Vortel side by side. Tom's going to have the inside for the first chicane here. And we've also got Frank in P3, De Silva in P4, and Robo in P5. They go tentatively through the first section there. Great driving from the cars there. No contact whatsoever. But we have got two side by side with Small Hand and Robo. Who's going to make it through into the second chicane there?
Oh, what a start to the race. We did get some movement.
Oh, Cletus into the lead. Nikkonen into the lead. Oh, big contact there. Big contact there with Cletus. In fact, there was a little bit of a graphic mess up there. So that was in the middle of the pack there. Cletus hits the wall there. That's going to give him damage. And also, Vortel is in the lead as well. From Tom, from De Silva, from Frank, from Robo. And what a dramatic start to the Monza Grand Prix here. Bit of a gap here as well. Vortel to Tom. So an excellent start there from Vortel.
Yeah, Tom has found himself dropped right down to the back. Very extensive damage to the back of his car. It was a mighty impact into the chicane complex. Vortel makes his way through. Also, De Silva managed to avoid any sort of major contact with but in front of his car. Sean, it was an absolute mess there, with cars all over the road.
Indeed. Where we did say that this could be Monza Mayhem, and it's lived up to its name as we got we got a three-way battle for P2 at the moment. De Silva heads the queue at the moment. We go three wide going into the oh god, and the pit wall effect.
Big contact
Between the three of them. All three of them go off the track, but Robbo, oh my god, clatters into the to the sign there as well. Big damage on the cars there, and wow. Just talking about Monza Mayhem, it's lived up to its name again. We're only on lap 2, Rob, and wow, we have seen some absolute carnage.
That was Frank finding himself in the middle of the track, and obviously with the trailing pack unable to rejoin, and he has absolutely tumbled down that leaderboard from right at the front there. He must be absolutely stone last. Also,
more contacts as well. More contact. Just got the last part of that replay there, but I think there was a slight bit of contact. He's gone over the sausage there, and oh god, what looked like a promising start to the race is it's in tatters now, Rob.
Yeah, a few drivers have really suffered there. Frank S, Nikkonen finding themselves right at the back of the grid after quite a promising qualifying. So Vortel escapes all of this, finds himself 2.5 seconds in the lead.
Yes, indeed, Rob. Indeed, yeah, he's the one that's escaped the carnage behind him. 2.5 second lead, and looking really, really good at the moment. Of course, we still have 16 minutes left of the race, but great start here from Vortel. 2.7 seconds from De Silva in P2, with Robbo a further 4.3 seconds behind Vortel, with a train of cars behind him. We got Ehlers, we got Missile, Dogshaft, we've got Naisbit as well.
in a childish behaviour, trying not to laugh at that username. But I spoke in a straight face. Try not to laugh, but doing an excellent job in P5. Fantastic driving from the front five here. All in the train of cars, but very close together. Looks like Robo might have had an off there. He seems to have dropped down the pack a little bit, as we see.
That was Naisbit, wasn't it?
Yeah, Naisbit. You see Naisbit going quite wide and getting himself onto that gravel. as he exits the Lesmo complex.
I mean, we can't take our eyes off the action right now. Literally everywhere we look on the circuit, there is something kicking off. But cleanly through Ascari for the drivers there. Yeah, very close to the back of Matt Clark, I believe, Friedman.
Yeah, Friedman's just made his way past Robo as well. So Robo falling further behind in this race. Oh, and Clark getting in all sorts of sideways in the parabolica there.
Just missed out on that bit of action as I was scrolling up the field there. But yeah, there is a battle developing on track for sure between Clark and Friedman. Just 3 tenths separating P6 and P7 as we come up to the first chicane.
Into turn 1 they go, keeping it nice and tidy. The AMG hunting down the rear end of the number 23 car in the BMW. Absolutely fantastic sounding car, that AMG.
Oh yes, absolutely love it. I'm just scrolling through the field now because I see a big battle going on for P12 at the moment between Cletus, Alex Rowe, Alduri, McCutcheon and Tom as well. Tom trying to salvage his race from that disastrous couple of laps there.
Yeah, quite a few Ferraris in that mid-pack of race there. Obviously we've got Zabravani, MGK, Cletus, Alex, Adori is the only one at the pack there because McCutcheon and Tomo, who was leading this race, did take pole for this race, was leading, finds himself in P16, battling amongst all the other Ferraris with a little bit of an AMG, a bit of a Ferrari sandwich.
I mean, literally, Rob, I cannot take my eyes off as we see Alex maybe looking for a move up the inside at Ascari. Decides to pull out of it for now, but maybe just sending a message to Cletus just to say, do you know what, I am there. Be wary of me because I will pass you at any given moment.
Yeah, looks like he's got a fantastic run, Alex, up towards Parabolica. Not going to make a move into Parabolica, I'm sure.
Oh, he initially closed the door, then ran out wide Cletus. It looked like as if Alex was going to slingshot up the inside, but tucks back into the slipstream. Maybe make a move for the first chicane. Getting sucked in right now. He's pulled to the inside. Can he make this work? Oh, big contact!
Oh!
Big contact! Danny McCutcheon, or was it Aldori? I think it was Danny McCutcheon, yes. Into the back of Alex Rowe there. There'll be big damage for the pair of them, but it looked like Alex Rowe got away with it. There is more cars in the background as well. I'm just struggling to see who it was. I think he might be back at the grid. I'm just trying to cycle through. It was I believe it was a blue McLaren.
Yeah, it looks like Alex has escaped that there. Aldori finds himself moving up a place. Tom now just behind these two, but yeah, what a big incident there that McCutcheon was in for a potential move into, moving into the Curve Grande, but yeah, absolutely sends it down the escape road into turn 1.
And that is the danger, Bob, as well, isn't it? Of course, you're in the slipstream. It means that you're going to carry the overspeed, which means, like, if you forget that you need to brake, that sort of 10 metre or 20 metres earlier, can catch you out. And clearly that is what happened there.
Yeah, it looks like Cletus has retired after that incident. I believe Cletus was involved in there. Obviously, he must have taken extensive damage. And he has now found himself in the pit.
Oh dearie me. Well, I'm riding back on board with Tom. So Tom, after a pretty poor start to his race, of course, in the slipstream of Aldori and Alex Rowe. So there is a bit of a fight for P12 at the moment, but no opportunities yet as Aldori does close the door on him, but really, really close racing between the trio.
Yeah, it's good to see that.
Sorry, as we see Aldori try one around the outside of Alex Rowe. They're going to be side by side as we come into the second chicane here. Who's going to be the latest of the late breakers? Well, Alex Rowe closes the door on him. That was a perfect timing on the brakes. Aldori had to back off there, but does remain pretty much on his bumper, I have to say.
Yeah, and Tom's not letting this one go either. He's watching this with an eagle eye, looking for any opportunity to work his way further forward. Obviously, this is our pole sitter. We know he's got pace.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
As Frank looks like he's going to make a move around the outside of Thomas. Got an unreal exit.
Indeed, indeed. That's oh god, it looked like Tom was going to go up the inside of Aldori there, but literally no space there.
Oh no!
Oh, who was that, Rob?
I'm not sure who that was, but there was a car facing the other way. I did think it was Alex, but it was no. Alex is still going. There was a car facing the other way. Maybe his teammate. It looked a very similar livery.
Cletus back in the pits. I can't say who it was, to be honest, Rob.
It's car number 77.
77. Yeah. Yeah, just tumbling down the field, actually. Yeah, down into P20. So, yeah, not good there from...
Aldori gone for the move into T1. There is some contact.
Oh, wow, 3 abreast. 3 abreast, wow. Oh, big contact as well between Alex Rowe and Aldori there. Wow, we can't take our eyes off of this, Rob. Sorry to cutting in there, Rob. It just, I was in amazement. 3 abreast going into the chicane. Not the wisest move, to be honest. Yeah, it's it's Aldori at the front of this queue. With, Frank, Tom, and a small hand just behind. But at the moment, Aldori leads the train through Lesmo 1 onto Lesmo 2. But Frank in tow of Aldori. So maybe there's a move, an opportunity for Frank.
Yeah, all this battling up front in the mid-pack has brought Dan McCutcheon back into play. That's amateur.
Fantastic move there from Frank on the exit of, on the entrance of Ascari there. Moves up into P11 ahead of Aldori. So Aldori pushed down into P12 with Tom not too far behind in P13.
Yeah, brilliant moves there. Looking, yeah, Dan McCutcheon, the amateur season 9 amateur series winner, with all the battling going on in front of him, has closed the gap.
Sorry, Rob. Big contact at the first chicane there between Friedman and MGK. Well, in fact, I believe it was between Clark and Friedman. My apologies. Just saw the last part of that shot there as he went into the back of him. Friedman had to go down the emergency exit around the first chicane. Wow, drama everywhere, Rob.
Yeah, I think the stewards might be a little bit busy tonight after this one. Just coming up towards the last quarter of this first race 1 this evening being 20 minutes. Race 2 will be a 40-minute endurance.
Indeed. But I mean, the way it's going though, Rob, I mean, this race is 20 minutes. Will the driver survive for 40 minutes? Just riding on board with Small Hand at the moment. Closest battle we've got on circuit at the moment between Tom and Small Hand for P12. Small Hand just catching up with Tom. He's not going to be able to make the move for Ascari, but with 3/10 the gap between them, really close to see Tom go a little bit wide as well. Out of the exit, that is going to cost him a bit of time.
Yeah, I'm currently riding on board with Small Hand, chasing down Tom and Elduri in P12 and 11 respectively. There was a word there that I was looking for and it escaped me.
I mean, Rob, it is a hard one to call here because there is literally temps between Robbo from Tom from Small Hand. Oh, as we got two side by side, this Tom and Robbo. In fact, it was quite an easy pass in the end. So maybe there was damage there from Alex Rowe.
There's a lot of debris on the exit of turn 2.
Just everywhere we look on the circuit, there is just action galore. I mean, it's looking like this scrap is going to go all the way to the end between P11 to probably P15.
Oh, race control.
What have I missed, Rob?
There was a race control message there. I will wait to confirm, but I do believe the leader of the race, Fortel, has just picked up a stop and go penalty.
Wow. Okay, so Fortel with quite a handy lead, to be honest. 5 seconds. It's going to be all for nothing, isn't it, Rob?
Was it Dazza? It was Dazza. Thank you for confirmation there, Raven. I did see the stop and go penalty flick up at the bottom, but it is not Fortel.
Right, okay. Okay, so Dazza with the stop and go penalty there in P23. You've got to say that's pretty much race over then for Dazza.
Yeah. Oh yes, you can see on the leaderboard there as well. The SG.
Yeah, I just spotted it.
There we go. You learn something every day. So Fortel now working his way through Lesmo 1 into Lesmo 2, 5.2 seconds. I bet Fortel's thinking, where's everybody gone?
Yeah, I mean, into the distance is Fortel with a 5.2 second gap. There is also a 9.5 second gap to Alerts as well in P3. The front three have escaped the attentions of most of the grid, with all the battling going on in the midfield, of course. Just riding on board with Small Hand now in P12. Just a few attempts. Oh my God, Tom goes a little bit wide again out of Lesmo 2. That's going to cost him a bit of time and speed. Surely that will allow Small Hand to start catching up with him as we go up the hill to Ascari. He does close the gap. Wasn't able to make the move, of course. That would have been some dive bomb from Small Hand there, but very, very close again between P10, 11, 12. Yeah, insane battles going on track right now.
Yeah, Small Hand's not leaving this one alone. He's going to pick up some slipstream here on Tom down towards turn 1. Is it going to be enough to make a move? As we do see somebody entering the pits, I assume that will be Dazza serving his stop-go penalty for exceeding track limits. Friedman is in the box. There's quite a few cars in the garage there.
Yeah, I would imagine they were losing way too much speed and felt the need to pit to get a few repairs on the car. So they'll be losing positions as we speak. Freeman down to P14, Moggs down into P20.
Well, with only 35 seconds remaining on the race clock, this could be the final lap of the race. As we see, Vortel is making his way up to the final curve. There might be one more lap.
It's going to be touch and go, isn't it? Vortel, 15 seconds until the race end.
Yeah, we're going to get one more lap. I believe we're going to get one more lap.
Oh, it's counting down. It's 5. It's 4. Yes, we're going to get one more lap.
The leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
So, De Silva will take the checkered flag. Has he managed to get across the line?
That's how it works, is it? Okay, so that means Elia will be P3, Missile Dogshaft in P4, Naismith in P5, MGK in P6 with Frank in P7, Clark in P8 with an Eldori just behind them as well in P9.
Chat just confirming that the lead driver will be the first to take the checkered flag, so it's an extra lap for everybody. Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds over the line for the extra lap.
Well, we've got 2 side by side now, gaining into the first chicane. Tom and Smallhand, who will come out on top? It's looking like Tom just goes around the outside. And Tom, a little bit of contact between the pair of them there, but Tom just holds off P10 from a Smallhand. Oh my God, it could go either way as we go into the second chicane here. We've got Tom on the inside, so Smallhand will have to tuck in to be in P11 for now. We've also got 2 cars in Alex Rowe, McCutcheon as well, not too far behind, with Tro as well. So not all is done for the time being. Big
Vortel making his way around Parabolica now, Sean.
Oh, yep. I mean, there's a 5-way battle going on behind, but Vortel will win race 1 here at Monza GP with De Silva in P2. Oh, God, we got Missile Dogshaft just behind in P4, but it looks like Alerts has got a really good exit out of Parabolica, so it will be Alerts with P3 and Missile Dogshaft in P4. With Naismith now just coming across the line in P5. MGK in a P6. And then this is a bit of a battle going on for P7 with Clark and Adori. I could have sworn Adori was in a P9, so I'm not sure what happened there, but Clark...
I can confirm there was a little bit of contact on the exit of Ascari. Aldori had to take evasive action. It seemed to cut the corner a little bit, but got through past Tom. There may be some post-race investigation on that one, but I would not like to speculate. It was pretty late coming back to the...
Well, thank you there, Rob. I'll just quickly classify the rest of the positions there. Tom was in P9 in the end with Smallhand P10, Alex Rowe P11, Tro P12, Danny McCutcheon in P13, Spanu in P14, Robbo in P15, Nikkonen in P16, AV Player Racing in P17, Friedman in P18, Zabrovani in P19, Frank in P20, Busov in P21, Daza in P22, Moggs in P23, Cletus in P24, and Sky Adrian at the back of the grid in P25.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people run out of fuel. I've just noticed that in chat as well. Yeah, a couple of people ran out of fuel towards the end of that race there. So miscalculated the fuel, which was meant that they had to dive into the pit lane for a little bit of a refill.
Interesting stuff. I mean, Rob, to be honest, so much was going on there. It was very difficult to to focus on the people that had their crashes and whether or not they were pitting or staying out on track. It was literally all kicking off all race, Rob.
Yeah, action up and down from front to back of the grid. 24 cars, 25 cars, all locked in their own little individual battles. Very quiet one for Vortello up in P1, and also De Silva in the other McLaren. Quiet race for those guys. Kept it clean, got away from the action in turn 1.
I think that was the key, wasn't it? I think. There we go. I was trying to get to the timetables. My keyboard was not working at that point, so I was a little bit stuck. Yes, clearly the main incident was the 3 wide at the first chicane. All 3 with contact, wasn't it? And the top 2 were able to pull away, wasn't it, Rob?
Yeah, it was like I said in the post, sorry, not the post, the pre-race introduction. That turn 1 Ratifilio can make or break your race at any moment. Picking up excessive damage in the early laps is always going to cost you, as we saw to pole sitter Tom, who took pole just by 9 thousandths of a second, expecting him to have good pace in the race as well, but obviously that incident caused him to fall right to the back of the grid.
Yes, indeed. Although it was a good fight back, wasn't it, from Tom in the end? Lost so many positions, made up, I believe, about 10 positions after that accident. So fair play to Tom. Of course, we know that he's got the pace. He did set the pole position time, but I would imagine he would have had a little bit of damage, and but still managed to grab 10 positions in the race.
Yeah, unbelievable drive, really. I mean, like you say, we know he got pace, setting that 147.5 in qualifying. Unfortunate to drop back, but yeah, excellent recovery drive up into P9 in the Ferrari.
Indeed, Rob. I mean, there was a lot of movers and shakers up and down the grid, to be honest. I believe, I'm not sure where MGK qualified, but I'm pretty sure that he rose quite a few positions in the race as well, up into P6.
MGK qualified P12. So good race for him.
There we go. So 6 positions there for him there. I'm trying to scroll up to the top. Game's not allowing me at the moment, but yeah, I just can't get over the fantastic racing or lots of incidents, Rob. I'm not sure which way I can call it.
Yeah, so just flicking through the quad, looking at some of the big movers. M. Clark with a phenomenal race in the BMW number 23. Started in P16, finishes himself in P7. Alduri didn't set a qualifying time, so from the back of the grid works his way up to P8. We know Alduri's got pace. Yes. Sean takes P2 in season 9.
Of course, yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure someone in chat mentioned Alduri as well, saying he was definitely one to watch.
Great performance as well from Naisbitt in the Lamborghini number 63 car, moving up quite a few spaces to take home the P5, and I think we are gridding up for race number 2.
Indeed we are, Rob. Yes, 2 minutes 40 until the session start. This time it's going to be a 40-minute race, of course, based on qualifying. Is it from
yes.
Race 1? Right. Yes. So yeah, 40-minute race here. So double the length of the previous race. Let's hope there's not as many incidents in race 2 as there were in race 1.
Yeah. So Tom finds himself back on P1, I imagine hoping to get a much cleaner start to the race, and looking for those good results. While we've got a couple of minutes on the clock, let's just quickly check in on chat. Matty, welcome in. Thank you for stopping by, dude. It's good to see you. We've got Chucky, Vanek Racing, calling out some good what's the word I'm after? Predictions early on in the chat. Yes. Not wrong, he's obviously a returning fan. Good to see you here. Double O Raven still knocking around as well.
Indeed, he's keeping his beady eye on us tonight, of course. Our first
gig. We'll call it a gig.
Yeah, our first gig on the this series, or any ACC series in general, actually, for me at least. Yeah, just sort of working out the UI and obviously learning about the drivers now as well. So we're glad to have chat on board to help us out and let us know who to keep an eye on Yeah, it's absolute fantastic to have you all watching us, of course. So also as well, I forgot to mention Eradicated Zombie, also Turtle Wax as well from my community on Twitch. I'm Floor Genius Gaming, in my spare time. So good to see you guys drop in, and hopefully you are enjoying the race as we await the start of race 2. 30 seconds to go.
Also, big welcome there to LCK Racing and also DGM Sport. A couple of rally guys in chat.
Fantastic. Great turnout from the viewers. And yeah, let's hope that race 2 was as good as the first one, Rob.
Yeah, just coming up to 5 seconds to go before we, I imagine there'll be another formation lap. So full lap formation.
Yes, I think so. I'm sure Raven will correct us.
And away they go. Tom leading them out.
There we go. Yes, so Tom leading them out from Vortel, from Frank, Silva, Robbo as well. God, I saw him just accelerate there, Rob, but I generally thought he was going to go into the back with the Silva then. But, yeah, we've got Small Hand in P6, Busov in P7, Lair in P8, Cletus in P9, Missile, Dog Shaft in P10, and Nikanen in P11, MGK in P12, Moggs in P13, Naisbit in P14. Friedman P15, Clark in P16, Alex Rowe in P17, Sky Adrian in P18, Danny McCutcheon P19, P20 is Zabro Varney. Apologies if I mispronounce some of the names here. Tro is in P21, Spanu P22, AV Player Racing P23, Dazza T in 24th, and Alduri at the back of the grid again in P25. They've done excellent, of course, at race 1.
Yeah, I must admit, Sean, this was absolutely stunning in the evening into the night.
Yes.
Racing into the night, the headlights are on.
Indeed.
Track temperature obviously starting to fall now. It's lost a couple of degrees from race 1. I think we were riding on board, driving or racing around the 34 degree.
Something like that, was it? 34, 35? Yeah.
The track temperature is falling.
It's falling, but it's surprisingly still quite warm. So still good for the drivers, of course. Should get a good grip on the tyres. The track is optimum level as well. So yeah, excellent driving conditions for the drivers. Apart from that, it's night time, of course. But but I'm sure these pro drivers are used to it. I'm sure it's a piece of cake for these drivers. So yeah, just look forward to some fantastic racing as they're just about halfway through the formation lap at the moment. So in about a minute, race 2 will get underway, Rob.
Yeah, Frank getting a little bit excited there. Just working their way through the Ascari complex now, heading up to Parabolica.
Yes, indeed. Just on the straight now. I believe there is a speed limit, isn't there, for these formation laps? I think it's roughly around 60 miles per hour. I think.
Yeah, about 8 kilometers, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, just hopefully the drivers have got their tyre temperatures up, or as much as they can do on a formation lap, of course, as we. Yeah, just approaching Parabolica now to start race 2 of the Super Sprint Series, Season 10 of FRL, of course. Oh, God. Let's just pray for a clean chicane 1 this time. Right, yeah, just lining up now, so we're just approaching the start-finish line. Yeah, there we go. So Tom, Vortel, side by side.
Good luck, drivers.
Yes, good luck to all the drivers on the field. As the lights go green, and it's goal, goal, goal! And a clean getaway again, of course, but side by side is Tom and Vortel. Tom will have the inside line for the first part of the chicane, but Vortel, of course, on the outside. Tom will need to give the space. Oh my God, Tom over the sausage there of the chicane, and then still side by side as we go around the Curva Grande for the first time in race 2. We've got Frank in P3, De Silva in P4, Franco in P5. But it's going to be Tom that leads them up to the second chicane.
Yeah, much cleaner start to the race there.
Just having a slight graphic mess up there, but we still got Tom in the lead there. Yes, so Tom from Vortel, from Frank, from De Silva, from Robbo, Small Hand in P6, Busov in P7, and then P8, but there is a couple of cars side by side in the background. Just trying to get the right on board there, but I think it was between Alex Rowe and Zabrovani.
Yeah, Zabrovani.
Yeah.
Zabrovani in the number 77 Ferrari. Yeah, much better start to race number 2. Everybody getting through clean and tidy. It only looked like maybe one driver, I believe it was Nukanen, that seemed to take a bit of a backwards tumble down the leaderboard, so maybe there's a little bit of contact there, or maybe just went a little bit wide, but super stuff from the guys up front.
Well, sorry to interrupt you there, Rob. So Frank just up the inside of Vortel there, up into P2. That's a nice sweeping move there from Frank. Of course, Vortel is going to have to get into the slipstream again. He will have the slipstream and will push his way back up and maybe draw alongside him as we approach the first chicane on lap 2. But sorry, Rob, I was just about to say Vortel just closes the door on him. Frank closes the door on Vortel there, so remains in P2.
Good stuff from the drivers this time. Very, very close and very dark as well. Don't forget to add that into the mix. Much harder to see what is going on around you. We do have car number 246 in the box. I'm not sure whether that is an early retirement. Potentially is a retired car there. So we've already lost one from this race, number 2.
Yep, that's correct there, Rob. Yep, in the pits now. Yeah, the cars are very bunched up here, but yeah, being a little bit more cautious on round 2 because, of course, nighttime conditions. So track awareness needs to be at its highest level. As we see a few cars in the background there, was that? Oh God, there is 4 in close proximity there. Alex Rowe in P13, and we've got Naisbitt up into P14 from Zabrovani and Moggs as well in P15 and 16, but they're just bunching up at the moment, and also side by side as well, going into Ascari as Alex Rowe just clatters the curb there, and lucky not to lose control of the... Oh, God! Oh, God, who was that, Rob? Who was that?
I believe that may have been Clark off the track there.
No, it wasn't Clark. I can't see who it was, but it's all just disappeared in the background, so can't see from the angle who that was.
Well, car number 301, the BMW of AB Player Racing, finds himself quite far back.
I believe it was Friedman actually. Friedman, car number 8 in the AMG. He's the one in the pit. He was the one that went wide and spun out and hit the barrier. So gives up. Goes straight back into the pits. That is a DNF.
Yeah, car number 301 also on pit entry. Maybe there's a coming together there outside of the Ascari complex.
Yeah, it was hard to see from that shot. I just kind of caught a glimpse of it, really, Rob. It was it happened so quickly, absolute disaster for
the battle hotting up into at the front of the pack as well here. Frankie's really on a charge now to catch Tom.
Yes, indeed, Rob. 9 tenths is the gap at the moment, but to be honest, there is a train of about 7 cars actually, all within a second of each other. It's can't take your eyes off of this, Rob. It is absolute fantastic viewing, and as proved in race 1, the slightest mistake could be costly. So we're definitely going to have to keep our eyes on this right now. Just looking at MGK actually in P8, he's 3 tenths behind Alaire in P7. Very, very close to the back bumper of the Ferrari there. In fact,
it's a very early progression from MGK, because he would have started in P12, so already making moves up into P8. And it doesn't look like he doesn't look like he's stopping either. He's absolutely on a charge in. They're chasing down alerts in the Ferrari, number 25 car and the number 702 vehicle as they work their way towards turn 1. Absolute moves from MGK this round.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic from MGK. We was just riding aboard with him there on the dashboard view there. Very close to the back of alerts there in P7. But still very, very good driving, and of course we saw a lot of cars go into the back of the cars in front. He's judging his braking accordingly through these chicanes. And just waiting for his opportunity to maybe for alerts to make a mistake or leave the door open for him.
Yeah, good stuff up and down the pack. Just working my way towards the back there. Buznov chasing down Alduri at the minute. Again, we know Alduri is a super fast driver, and Buznov was called out to be one of the top drivers in chat earlier on. So just a couple of tenths of a second between those two. That is a battle I'm going to keep my eye on as it progresses.
I'm just focusing on it now because we're on board with Alex Rowe, just half a second down the road from Zabovani. Very, very close racing again between the two of them. Oh, in fact, we've got one that went wide as well. I think that was Cletus. So Cletus back into the fold. There's Zabovani about to make the move on him. Of course, Clark making the overtaking opportunity there. So Cletus, Alex Rowe just on the inside of Zabovani, just gets more speed out of the corner, holds on to that P12. It was Cletus that made the move on. Oh God, there's a bit of a graphic mess up at the moment. You
were right. Zabrovani makes the move on Cletus. Cletus now in P12 with Alex in P3. So looking for him to move into turn 1.
Oh, there's contact!
There's contact!
This big contact. Alex Rowe on Cletus into the side of Cletus there. Cletus spins round. Alex Rowe kind of gets away with it and pushes on, but of course he's going to have damage there. The Cletus.
Cletus down into P12.
I thought Cletus. No. You see, there we go. There we go. Trying to get back on board with Cletus to see what the damage was there. Down into P17 it is for him.
Yeah, finds himself in between the battle that was going on and the battle that was brewing between Alduri and Buznov. Cletus now finds himself stuck in the middle of those two, with no doubt extensive damage to that vehicle.
Meanwhile, Rob, as well, from P12 onwards, set of about 6 cars, literally about a second between each car. Really close battling here as nearly the 10-minute mark has gone in race 2. It's difficult to focus on one car at the moment, Rob.
Yeah, there's battles going on all up and down this grid. It does look like the BMW of AB Player Racing has got himself back out on track after that early pit stop for repairs. And we see the Ferrari number 18 Ferrari of Spano in pits. Tro also makes his way back onto the racing track after repairing that vehicle, as does Freeman in the AMG.
Indeed. Well, I remain on board with MGK at the moment. He's actually only half a second off of Alaire. He's doing an excellent job here. Ella is on the defensive, but still in P7, of course, so doing an excellent defensive job. As MGK goes a little bit wide, a little bit squirrely on the curve out of the exit of chicane 2. We're just coming up to Lesmo 2 now. Yeah, that gap has extended, so Elia will be looking to pull away and cement that P7, or even concentrate on catching Smallhand in P6.
There's definitely a battle brewing just a little bit further down the grid there, Sean, between Nasbit Moggs and Danny McCutcheon. They're very, very close, chasing each other down towards the Scary.
Yes, indeed. I believe actually it's Danny McCutcheon and Alduri, actually, isn't it? In fact, no. We see actually Moggs, P13, just behind Naisbitt, gets a much better exit than Naisbitt in P12. As we approach the Parabolica, as Moggs going to send it. He's not, maybe just a little bit too far back to make the move there. But of course, very wise decision there. Of course, we'll have the slipstream down this long straight leading up to the first chicane.
Yeah, also McCutcheon on the back of this slipstream CT down towards turn 1. That gap is closing and closing and closing. He looks like he's going to make a move up the inside.
Oh, side by side. Oh, and McCutcheon pulls out of it. Again, wise decision, I think.
Plenty of room there. Good driving there from the guys. Plenty of room for the cars to manoeuvre around turn 1 and turn 2. They go again.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Important to get the braking points right here. Oh, Moggs goes a bit deep. Oh, McCutcheon, yeah, maybe not enough room for McCutcheon to really do anything there, but he has got a bit of an advantage there, although it's a bit too much curb on the entrance of Lesmo 1. So loses that advantage in the end and goes a bit squirrely out of Lesmo 2 as well, so loses that advantage even further.
Newcomen has made a pass on Dazak up into P17 in the 909 Audi. Starting at the back of the grid, he's starting to make some moves.
Yes, just trying to get back on board with Dazadeh. Moves up a position there and looks forward to try and catch up with Nikkonen there. I want to kind of focus on Danny McCutcheon, because there is a 7/10 gap between himself and Moggs. There's also an 8/10 gap between Busov and Alduri, but it's looking like McCutcheon's got a really good exit there. So can McCutcheon make the move on him before we get to the first chicane, where he pulls to the inside? And a little bit squirrely from Moggs on the outside, and he's gone over the curbs now. Over the sausage, so McCutcheon should be able to pull away. They are side by side, so McCutcheon getting a lot more speed out of the exit of the first chicane there, and he does make the move on Moggs, so McCutcheon up into P13.
Yeah, gets it done. I do think, I can't confirm, but I do think Moggs has yielded that position. He seemed to pull to the left-hand side of the circuit. Maybe he realised he cut that corner. Did you get? Maybe he got a slow down. I'm not sure, but the move is done nevertheless.
Yes.
McCutcheon up into P13 now, and will now make his way to try and close down that gap to the Lamborghini number 63 car of Naisbitt.
Well, meanwhile, just having a look at Busov, not too far behind Alduri in P16, just half a second between them. Busov, to be honest, they've been battling for the last sort of few laps here. Similar kind of gap. But it's looking like Busov just got a good exit out of Ascari, firmly in the slipstream of Alduri in P15. As we lead up into Parabolica, Oh, it closes and closes on Eldori, but Eldori may be getting a little bit more speed out of the exit there. So similar kind of gap, but definitely a battle that is brewing up right now.
Indeed, I was just riding on board with Naismith there. It looked like there was a potential move into the parabolica. Nothing happened, nothing came of it, but Zabravani gets a much better exit down into turn 1 and has opened that gap up again to 7 tenths. It was down to 4 tenths of a second briefly there, but with a much better exit, the gap is now 7 tenths of a second. But good battle, good chase.
Yeah, for sure, Rob, for sure. It's well, I mean, we still got 24 minutes to go in race 2, so a lot can happen in that time, of course. Stop and go, 10-second penalty for 688. Oh, it's Daza.
Yeah, number 688, the BMW of Daza, picks up another stop. Is that his second stop-go penalty? Yeah, second stop-go penalty for track limits. He's going to find himself at the back of the grid once more.
So his race goes from bad to worse there. Unlucky there from Daza. Yeah, he's gonna. Well, he's not gonna be completely lost because we've got Freeman and Spanu in the pits, but quite likely he's gonna drop down into probably P21, P22. But yeah, just
pushing those track limits a little bit too hard. Picked up a stop-go penalty 10 seconds in race 1, and now another one in race 2.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Unfortunate. Of course, track limits on ACC very strict, so you do have to adhere the keep the car between the white lines. Of course, he will know that being the pro driver, but frustrating all the same for him.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, as it should be, the white lines are there for a reason.
Yes, of course.
Now Tom running away with it a little bit in P1 here, 9 laps into this 40-minute race. A 2.5 second lead over Frank, all going well though. Vortel in the other McLaren just another couple of seconds back to Silver, and Robbo in the other 2 McLarens. They all look nice and clean and tidy. They look like they've settled into quite a nice rhythm. Yes, Rob. Yeah, a nice rhythm and understanding the fact that there's still 22 minutes of the race to go. So as long as they're in reach of the leader, quite happy to just really sit there and just stay consistent and hope that towards the end of the race their car is still in one piece and maybe with a chance or be in contention to win the race, Rob. Yeah, 100%. It might be worth dropping on board with the number 15 car, P15 Aldori. He is now closing down on Moggs as they enter the Ascari complex. That gap is absolutely tiny as Moggs gets it a little bit sideways. I don't know if there's contact there, but he has gone off the track to the left. Yeah, he just cut a little bit too much of the track there, went over the big curve there, and very lucky to actually keep control of the car there. The car will get very loose, especially when turning as well, but manages to keep hold of the car, but has lost a fair bit of time there to Aldori. Down the time sectors now, getting quite close in P10 is Clark in the number 23 BMW, working his way through the, again, plenty of debris on turn 2 exit. But he is trying to catch up to Missile in the number 32 Ferrari. Yes, just on board now, actually. So the gap is roughly about half a second. We're just going into the second chicane now. Although Missile gets a really good exit, actually, which will pull him away from Clark for the time being. We've also got Naismith in P12, that is just also within half a second of Zabravani in P11. All over the back. Yes. All over the back of that Ferrari. So yeah, again, Zabravani gets a good exit out of Lesmo 2, but the slipstream will help a little bit for Naismith, going down and up the hill
to Ascari. And he gets a good exit actually.
Halfway mark.
Gets a really
It's
good.
halfway into the race there, so just to answer the question in chat, the previous lap from Tom was a 1:48.4, so these guys are going slow.
Indeed, indeed. Fantastic driving, very consistent laps they're putting in. As you said, Rob, settled into that rhythm. Well, if Tom keeps doing what he's doing, surely he will win the race. He has extended his lead over Frank as well to 3 seconds.
Just to point out, these guys are they're a pro category for a reason. Tom set his previous lap of 1:48.40. Vortel's previous lap was a 1:48.41.
Wow. Oh, blue flags. We have blue flags. Who is that for? Is it Tro? It's not for Tro. Might be... No, it's not Cletus. It might be Dazza. Of course, they do need to pull out the way in the sort of the safest and most convenient style. Try and get the cameras to pan around if possible.
Yeah, I think the top three have just gone
past,
the
yeah,
blue,
yeah. Okay, but yeah, Vortel actually only 9 tenths behind Frank in P3 for Vortel, P2 for Frank. So yeah, a bit of a battle brewing up at the top, Rob. It's getting a bit tasty.
The race is certainly not over at the front there. I say these guys are driving incredibly consistently, and the gaps are staying around about the same. Frank did set a slightly slower lap time that last time around, so Vortel has closed the gap a little bit. But the Silver in P4 running nice as well, nice and clean and keeping that gap. Frank, Robbo a few more tenths behind, it's all very tidy.
Well, I believe, Rob, there is a few battles going on circuit. It's difficult to pick who to get on board with because currently on board with MGK in P8, still just behind Dallaire in P7, is roughly just over half a second. So they've been kind of scrapping all race, to be honest. But you know, safely as well. No contact. It's just kind of MGK following Elliot's line really. But he's getting closer and closer by the corner.
Yeah, as is Naisbitt in P11 as they work their way up to Regia and then into the Lesmo complex. He's definitely closing that gap down again to Zabravani.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, just getting on board now. So the gap actually even closer. Oh, God! Oh, and a little bit wide there from Zabravani.
Indeed.
Oh, it just about gets away with it. I need the on board here. There we go. So Zabravani on. Sorry, it's on Missile Dog Shaft, isn't it?
No. Naisbitt has just made the move. Zabravani just went a little bit wide at the Lesmo, second of the Lesmo corners, and Naisbitt did make the move up the inside.
Okay. My confusion there was obviously at the timing of it. You know, it looked like it was a Missile Dog Shaft, but yeah, you're correct there.
It's worth jumping on board with MGK P8. Sean looks like he's setting up a move into turn 1.
Yes, just he does pull out of it though. That's good driving actually, but letting Elaire know that, look, you know, I'm getting closer and closer to you, so you better watch out for me.
He's definitely making moves, starting in P12 and get up to P8 currently, and no sign of slowing down.
No, and interestingly, P6 is kind of pulled into this race now. So a bit of a battle for P6 Brewing. Is that small hand or is that? Oh, that might. Oh, sorry, that is lap car, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah, there's blue flags.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so K Alert's just worked his way through the blue flags and MGK will be next. No, MGK is legitimately 0.4 of a second.
I mean, he's pretty much on this bumper as we go up the hill, using that slipstream. He's looking for the inside there. Alerts closes the door on him, but MGK is still on the back of the P7 driver there. Didn't get the best exit, unfortunately, there from MGK, but firmly in that slipstream, of course. As
a couple of Ferraris locked in battle.
Yes, indeed. So fantastic racing we're seeing here, Rob, at the moment. The race is definitely not dying down. It's 14 minutes left and many battles on the circuit right now.
Yeah, words of encouragement from chat there from the King B42. Go on, get him, he says in chat. MGK obviously found himself a King B42, wants him to get this move done.
Meanwhile as well, Rob, I have to look at... Oh, okay, side-by-side action here between McCutcheon and Alduri, I believe.
Zebravani.
Oh, Zebravani, sorry. Oh, a little bit of contact, actually, between the pair of them. And Zebravani, I think, is ahead of McCutcheon, but by a hair's breadth. A little bit of a flash of the light there from Danny McCutcheon. Maybe not happy with the defensive move from Zebravani, but still bumper to bumper, and oh my God, I don't know which way this is going to go. Oh,
big contact.
Big contact between the pair of them. Both of them going off the second chicane there. Couldn't quite get the on board there, but Zebravani is actually off the track there. So Danny McCutcheon actually got an advantage from that. Zebravani straight off, spun out as well, and just waiting for the timetable to update there. I'm pretty sure Zebravani has... Yeah,
Zebravani is just working his way through S-Zone 2, whereas Naisbitt is well on his way through the exit of Ascari. So yeah, he's going to drop down the leaderboards, looking like P15 for Zebravani, so loses out quite a lot there. MGK still on the charge after K Alerts as he makes his way down to turn 1.
Yes, on board with MGK now. Yeah, that gap has closed up quite considerably, actually. Not going to be able to make the move for the first chicane, but firmly in his slipstream. Maybe might have a go for the second chicane. Looks like got a better exit than MGK though, so that gap has extended. Meanwhile, Buzov in P13, actually quite close to the back of McCutcheon. It looks like there's a 3-car battle actually between McCutcheon, Alduri and Buzov. In fact, McCutcheon a little bit closer to Alduri, P12 to Alduri in P11. Clean exit from the pair of drivers there, but definitely something we're going to have to keep on board for, I think, Rob.
Yeah, just keeping a close eye on a couple of times. Zebravani tries to claw that loss in time back. He currently has Newcomb just in front, chasing him down. But also, Sean, it's worth noting, Vortel has now started to close that gap to P2.
Yes, it was previously at around 2 seconds, or maybe just above that, down to 1.6 seconds. Probably not quite in the slipstream range, but definitely putting in the faster laps compared to Frank at the minute. Maybe Vortel has got better tyres, a little bit more grip, perhaps.
Yeah, currently the last lap Frank ran at 149.1, whereas Vortel, he's consistently in the 148.4s. So half a second with 10 minutes to go, Flawed.
With 10 minutes to go, that is roughly about 5 laps remaining. Yeah, plenty of time to claw that deficit back to Frank there, of course. I haven't actually focused on Tom for the whole race here. He's been leading for 16 laps here. He's extended his lead to Frank to 6.4 seconds. So definitely learning the lessons from the first race, I think, with Tom. Looking to get maximum points from race 2.
Yeah, apologies to Tom. We haven't spent much time on board, but P1 in the qualifying session obviously had an absolute disaster in race 1. Starts P1 again from race 2. The guy's just having a Sunday drive at the minute. 6 seconds lead over Frank, and with extremely good pace as well. That last lap time with a 1:48.3. Clearly one of the quickest drivers on track, but he does have a lot of clean air. Just going to look at the time over. That's a 1:48.8. Jump on board with Frank to check. 1:49 flat.
Well, meanwhile, Rob, we're just on board with MGK. He's closed that gap again to Alaire in P6. It's. Oh, God, I feel like I'm jinxing these drivers every time I open my mouth here, Rob. It looked like MGK was going to make the move on Alaire, but got a bad exit out of Parabolica. So Alaire has pulled a little bit more of a gap over MGK as we approach the first chicane.
Buznov and McCutcheon side by side on the exit of Parabolica.
Yes, on board now, Rob, on board now. McCutcheon just going in front of Busov, isn't it? But Busov firmly in that slipstream, may opt to send one. I was going to say maybe send one down the inside, but McCutcheon holds firm and holds that P11 away from Busov at the moment. But Busov not giving up without a fight, of course. Will use that slipstream to sort of try and close that gap, but I fear that's not the end of the situation, as we've got 7 minutes left of race 2.
100%. There's definitely going to be more moves and position swaps in the remaining 7.5 minutes. As MGK looks like he's doing chasing down. Lost a bit of time there.
No, it was roughly what it was. He got a poor exit out of Parabolica on the last lap, so it's roughly 6 to 7 tenths the gap there. But of course, it's 7 tenths. It's not even a second there, Rob. So slightest mistake there from Alex can bring MGK back into the fold.
Yeah, it looks like Frank has decided to get the hurry on a 1:48.4 that last lap, which is ever so slightly quicker, just 1/10 of a second brought out, but that gap did come down to 1.2 seconds. Frank getting the hurry up from Portal because he's slowed down.
No, he's not indeed. He's on a late charge here, Vortel. Has made a couple of attempts in the last lap. Again, with 6 minutes remaining. If it works out, a few attempts per lap, surely he'll be side by side with Frank in maybe the last lap.
Looks like we've lost Ahmed Al-Douri to the pit stop and run out of fuel, or is that he's over? Daza also in the pits as well.
Well, we know about Daza. He had the stop and go penalty, so whether or not he just decided that was that, or we have missed an incident there. Yeah, unusual with Valdori. Did he run out of fuel there? I'm not really sure.
MGK now closing that gap down to Kalas as they work their way down to Muscari. Just a couple of seconds. It does take a while for the leaderboards to update.
It does indeed. It's been confusing me all race, to be honest, Rob. But yeah, there's no doubt about it, though. MGK is putting extreme pressure on LS in P6 right now. Yeah, this is where the nerves kick in, and MGK just trying to put off LS, really, who's been pretty consistent in this race, I have to say. Hasn't really put a foot wrong. But MGK, as I said, closed that gap to about 2 or 3 tenths as we come across the start-finish line with 5 minutes left of the race. So can MGK... well, look, that slipstream's pulling him in as they get onto the brakes at the first chicane. Oh, that's perfect timing there from but also for MGK as well. So that gap remains, and wow, this is going to go right to the wire here, Rob.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm just again keeping an eye on the times up top. Vortal again closed that gap to about 1.2 tenths of 1.2 seconds, not 1.2 tenths of a second. That'd be incredibly close. But he did get that time down to about 1.2 seconds, but now finds himself 1.6 seconds.
Sorry, Rob, I was still focusing on MGK there, because at one point there, MGK was right on the bumper of the Ferrari, and I was really anticipating something to happen there. They're still mega close, of course, as we go up the hill to Ascari, but can't take my eyes off of this, Rob.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the closest. By looking at the timing screen, probably the only battle that we're going to see, with only 3 minutes 30 remaining on the clock. He's got a couple of laps to do it, and if he's got to get it done, he's got to get it done soon.
Yes, indeed. Time is of the essence, and time is definitely running out. There is yellow flags. Oh, who is that? Oh, God! Oh, it looked like he was going to go into the side of the BMW driver there. I'm not sure who that was, because we've got them both side by side, and MGK has taken advantage of that situation, actually. So MGK on the inside of LS, and it's looking, oh my God, they are literally a hair's breadth off of each other, but good, respectful driving, keeping the distance between them, and LS, wow, he keeps the position.
Brilliant driving from the two there, plenty of on-track space, plenty of respect between the two. MGK sends it down the inside into turn 1, but KLS to pop it back up the inside into turn 2, gets a good exit as well as they work their way down to the second chicane. What a bit of racing.
No, bit of contact as alerts went a little bit deep into the second chicane there. MGK didn't really have anywhere to go, because he actually got on the brakes decently and took the right line through the chicane, so there was a little bit of contact between the pair of them, but no real harm done there. Still neck and neck as we go down the hill and up the hill for Ascari. Wow, Rob, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal racing. It's worth to mention, Flood, that gap from P3 to P2 has started to fall down. This is going to be the last lap of the race. Maybe get one more racing lap, depending. Yeah, I think we'll get one more racing lap after this, but that is down to 9 tenths of a second now. Vortal with a late charge.
Yeah, he is a man on the mission right now. He really wants that P2 away from Frank. He's worked extremely hard to close that gap on Frank, but Frank, just holding him off at the moment. He's just doing enough to keep that gap to a sizable gap, just so that Vortal can't pounce on him.
Indeed, it's going to go right to the checkered flag.
I think Frank made a mistake there, because Vortal's closed in on him as we approach Lesbo 1. It is definitely down to probably about 3 tenths, I think, now, as we approach Lesbo 2. So anything can happen in these closing stages. And Frank, under all sorts of pressure, goes wide out of Lesbo 2. And surely Vortal, it's only a matter of time before he makes the move. Firmly in the slipstream, down the hill, up into Ascari. Frank gets on the brakes, but literally from bumper to bumper there.
I don't know what race to watch. MGK still piling on the pressure of KLS, but we've got that phenomenal battle up at P3 for P3, P2. We are going to get one more racing lap. This is not done yet. Stay with us, folks. This is going to be an incredible finish.
Well, the gap is slightly extended. I think there is a back marker in front of them. I'm pretty sure that's not Tom, is it? Surely that's not Tom.
No.
No. 5 seconds there. So yeah, gets around the back marker pulls to the side, which is good sportsmanship there, of course. So the gap remains at half a second as we go into the first chicane for the last time. This is the last lap, by the way, guys. So it's all or nothing between P2 and P3. Also as well, Rob, how is MGK and Alerts doing in P6 and 7?
He's got the slipstream now, and they've just come out the exit of Parabolica over the start-finish line. It's just a couple of tenths of a second. He's chasing him down well into the slipstream. I don't think he's going to make a move into turn 1. It'd be a bit of a dive bomb if he did, but he sets the car up nicely for a nice clean exit down through Curva Grande. This is not over. I can't call it. I can't call it
either way on both the battles we got on the track at the moment. Oh my God, Frank goes a little bit wide. That means Vortel will have the extra speed, the overspeed out of Lesmo 2. Oh my God, we are literally only about 3-4 corners away from the start-finish line here, and I still don't know how this is going to go, because is Vortel going to absolutely send it on Frank, or is Frank going to... Oh my God, they both go wide out of the exit, out of Ascari. It's looking like Frank is going to get that P2 away from Vortel. But yeah, Tom just going around the final corner now, just going back and forth. It looks like Frank's got a great exit, but Tom is going to come across the start-finish line to win race 2 at Monza with Frank P2. Yes, Frank P2 from Vortel in P3, sorry. Just trying to get the right camera on board. It's been fast and frantic here. We've got Robbo is going to come across the line in P4, so congratulations to Robbo as well. Small Hands in P5, yes, P5 there, so he will claim P5. But of course, Alert and MGK, not too much of a gap. Alerts is going to pick up that P6 away from MGK in P7, but what a race between the pair of them.
Oh, absolutely fantastic action, up and down. 40 minutes of racing done. The guys are just working their way around their final laps, taking the checkered flag. Don't think we're going to see any more position changes at this point. What a race, GG's to yeah, the chat is absolutely blown up. Well done, Tom. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable racing. Even at the end there, Busov and McCutcheon, there was only 6 tenths separating them two in P10 and 11. Moses gets P12 with Nikon just coming across the line in P13. Zabravani in P14, just going around Parabolica now, so that will be P14 for him. Then we've got Clark in P15, yet also just coming around Parabolica now. So yeah, P14 for Clark, and Alex Rowe P15. So let's just get to the timetables then, and let's confirm the race results for you guys.
Provisional race results.
The provisional race results. Thank you, Rob. So Rob, if you could take a screenshot for me.
Yeah, I've done them, dude.
You've done it, yeah. Right, thank you. Okay, so congratulations to Tom for the race win there. Very dominant display from Tom, and rewriting the wrongs from the first race. So yeah, P1 for Tom. P2 goes to Frank, who held off Vortel just about at the end to claim that excellent P2 away from Vortel in P3. Then we've got Robbo Franca in P4, Small Hand P5, Alert in P6. Again, very close between himself and MGK in P7. 3 tenths separating them, actually. So, unbelievable stuff. Missile Dogshaft in P8, Naisbit in P9, Busov in P10, with P11 for Danny McCutcheon. P12 goes to Moggs. P13 goes to Nikkonen. P14 goes to Zabravani. P15 goes to Clark. P16 goes to Alex Rowe. P17 goes to AV Player Racing. P18 goes to Cletus. P19 Tro. P20 for Alduri. Dazza P21. De Silva 22. Friedman in P23. Spanu in P24. And Sky Adrian in P25. What a race, Rob! What an absolute race!
Incredible action. Both races. Obviously, race one, little bit of a messy start in race one. Saw a lot of cars going backwards and off track, but wow, did the drivers make up for it in race two?
Indeed, Rob. Indeed. Well, if this has got anything, any sign of things to come, Rob, then we're in store for some fantastic racing across the whole season, Rob.
Yeah, yes, obviously 8 events. Was it 8? I better double check that. Yes, indeed, 8 events in this series. Taking a look ahead to next week's race. Next week's we'll be heading just a few hours down the road southeast to the Autodromo I can never say this in first time. Internazionale Enzo Aldino Ferrari, or as most people will call Imola, one of my personal favourites. So I cannot wait for that race next week.
Indeed, Rob. Indeed. It's a very technical circuit, Imola. I don't know what experience you've got of Imola yourself. I've had a couple of goes, and it's the curbs can be quite slippery, and particularly the chicane. If you get that wrong, it can really unsettle the car, and I can see a few maybe incidents that could happen on that particular chicane alone.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic race. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, myself, indeed, Rob. So yeah, that is coming up next week then, guys. July the 23rd, Sunday at 7:45 p.m. Same format as well, guys. So 20-minute race and a 40-minute race with a 15-minute qualifying ahead of race one. Yeah, absolutely can't wait for that. And yeah, hopefully, guys, you'll be you'll be able to see that race next week and pay us a visit.
Well, I'll be there.
Sorry, I do apologise. I'm trying to get the replay up. Not sure why it's only 6 seconds. So that's no good to me. Okay, is there a way I can...
Well, while you sort that, Sean, let me take this opportunity to congratulate our podiums for both races. Also, and everyone who took part in the race. I'd like to thank all the sponsors as well, and the FRL organisers. They do an absolutely phenomenal job of getting these races going across all platforms, PC, console, and multiple games. So please do go and check those out. Have you fixed what you need to fix?
I'm literally just trying to get to it now. Sorry, Rob. No. Oh, God. So I wasn't able to save the replay here, but I have managed to save the recorded footage from the PlayStation. So I'm just literally trying to get that up on my screen. Why is it not working? Okay, right. Unfortunately, yeah, best that I could do there, but there we go. Right. So yeah, thank you, Rob. Absolute pleasure to have you in the commentary box with me. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for next week. I've got to say a big thank you to everyone in chat for watching with us. Hopefully, it was a very entertaining race for you all, and yeah, hopefully we will catch you next week on Sunday, the 23rd of July, 7:45 p.m. For round 2 at Imola. So it's going to be a big good night from me.
And a second good night from me.
Good night, everyone.